Hi students. Today for media, we are going to do some coding activities. Today you will understand that coding is putting together a set of instructions for a computer to follow. You will show me that you understand how coding works by solving problems on code.org. So coding is basically giving the computer a set of steps to follow in order, and the computer will follow those steps. The trick is to make sure that those steps are in the correct order and that are the correct steps to solve the problem. If we give the computer an incorrect set of problem or steps to follow, the computer will still follow those steps, only the problem won't be solved. So I'm going to show you a little bit of things on code.org, and then you will get some choices to make about your coding activities today. So this week is the celebration of the Hour of Code. And basically what that is that kids across the country and across the world are challenged to do an hour of coding activities, or however long that they can. And this is in celebration of Computer Science Week. And it's just a time to practice doing some coding activities, because computer coding will be something that is very much needed in the future for jobs that are needed in technology and just video creation, games online, all kinds of things work by codes. And that is the instructions that the computer needs to follow. We're going to be on Code Studio today, and we'll be going to course 1. And the reason why I'll be going to course 1, even though it's a little bit, it's not super challenging, is because course 2 is a huge step up and a very big challenge. And I'm mostly having 4th grade and up do course 2. So for course 1, I am going to give you some choices. You may remember doing some of these activities from last year, where Angry Bird gets a code to try to get to the pig. And in order to do that, we give him directions to go up, down, or left or right. And so you may remember some of that. So I'm going to just show you a couple puzzles here. I'm not going to start at the beginning just because you've probably done this before. So I'm going to show you one that's just a little bit more complicated. So we're giving directions to Angry Bird to go north, south, east, or west to get to the pig. So we have to look at where he's starting, count the number of spaces that he needs to go over, and then use these blocks in order to put together the puzzle or the code. So I see that he's 1, 2, 3 spaces to the east. So I'm dragging these up here and clicking them together. And once I have my puzzle or my code put together, I come down below the puzzle and run the program. And then you can continue on to the next puzzle. And each puzzle that you perform gets a little harder. You might have multiple directions in different parts of the code. So that's the maze sequence. That's stage 4. That would be a good place to start with if you haven't done it before. I will show you that stage 5, and I'm just coming up here to the top to the drop-down menu. Stage 5 is going to look very similar. And stage 5 is called debugging, which means kind of fixing or finishing the problem that is given to you. So in this case, they give you a code. You have to kind of be the judge or the fixer to see if that's correct. So this one says west, west, south, but that's not going to work because he needs to go south and then west. So what you have to do is you have to figure out what's wrong or figure out what needs to be added and fix the code before it is run. Okay, now I'm just kind of skipping around to show you the different parts. Once you pick a section that you want to do, just go through that section, because then you'll notice that, it gets a little harder and everything's a little bit different. There's also, if you don't want to do Angry Birds, there's also bees. And for the bees, they're going to be collecting the nectar from the flowers and then making honey. So you're still going to go from where the bee starts through the maze to the honey, but as you stop along the way, you will get nectar from the flowers. And depending on how many flowers there are in that spot will depend on how many pieces of the puzzle you have to put together. So we'll have him go to the north, to the east, and then next to the flower, there's a number 2. So that means he's going to get nectar from 2 flowers before he continues going east and then south. And then he gets to the honeycomb, and there's another 2. So I'm going to have him make honey 2 times. Okay, so that's the bees. I'll show you just a couple more here, and then you can choose which coding activity that you would like to do. The artist, and again, when you choose one, start with number 1, but I'm just choosing one just to kind of show you how to do it. The artist is going to draw with the pencil to complete the drawing. And so the idea is similar, and it kind of shows you how many spaces he needs to go over. And the drawings get more complicated. You might have him jump over a space and then draw. Okay. And let's see what else is on here. There's the Angry Bird, the debugging, the bees, the artist. And then there's artist shapes. Once you get down below, it starts doing loops, which are repeats. So instead of, for example, going in a straight line 5 times and using 5 arrows, you might use a repeat and just tell the code to do it 5 times in a row. All right, one more that I'll show you is called Spelling Bee. And so this one has to do with letters and words. So you'll have to look at the directions. It says, move me to spell the word north. So you'll have to find the letters of the word north in the puzzle. And this one happens to be straight up, N-O-R-T-H. So I want him to go to the north to get to those 5 letters. So I'm having him go up 5 times. So as you can see, each of these puzzles is very similar in how they work. It just kind of depends on what setting you want it to be. So as it goes up, it finds the letters in the puzzle. All right. We are going to go ahead and, if you haven't already, logged on, and we're going to go ahead and find how to get to code.org and how to get to course 1 together. So if you haven't logged on, go ahead and log on, put in your password, and we're going to get to the Symbaloo. So I will continue my instructions for the Symbaloo. If you need to pause in order to get to the Symbaloo, you can do that now. If you are already on the Symbaloo, what we are going to do is go to code.org. If you look over here on the right-hand side towards the bottom, there is a white tile, and it just has a little tiny circle in the middle, kind of like the world, and it says code.org. It's right above the panda. So that's where we're going to click, and this will take us to the main screen of code.org. We want to get to Code Studio in Course 1, so we are going to scroll down just a little bit until we get to this purple section that says Students. In fact, you can kind of just click up here at the top where the picture is, and it'll go straight to Code Studio. We are going to go to Course 1 where you see the bee and the fish. So again, if you want to just click right there on the picture, click on the bee and the fish. And then we're to the screen that I showed you a little earlier. If you want to start with the Angry Birds, you want to start with stage 4. The debugging is just a little bit more complicated where you have to fix the code. Down here on stage 7 is the bees. Stage 8 is the artist. There's more artist shapes on stage 10. Spelling bee is stage 11. And then the bee and the maze are repeated down here a little bit further with some loops, which means repeats. So you can kind of choose which one of those you would like to do. I'm going to go ahead and put up the set of instructions just in case you get bumped out of the program and need to get back, you can also just type in code.org to get there as well. So we went to students and we're trying Code Studio Course 1. Remember, you'll have to take the steps of the direction and click them together to run that code. If it doesn't work and it says, try again, then just try to problem solve, read the hints up at the top, and also make sure you don't have extra blocks or directions laying around on the workspace. Otherwise, it won't follow the code. So good luck today, and hopefully you'll get to do some more coding activities the next time.